we'll start the Buddhist ceremony, and the Buddhist monk will be chanting. So, and then after that, we will follow all the schedule right here. So, and I will have everybody sit tight. So, thank you.
ตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิดุติยัมปิพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิดุติยัมปิพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิดุติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิดุติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิดุติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิดุติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิตติยัมปิพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิตติยัมปิพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิตติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิตติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิตติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิตติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิปานาติปาตาเวระมะโนยิสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิปานาติปาตาเวระมะโนยิสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิอะทินาดานาเวระมะโนยิสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิอะทินาดานาเวระมะโนยิสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิกาเมสุมิจฉาจาราเวระมะโนยิสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิกาเมสุมิจฉาจาราเวระมะโนยิสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิมุสาวาทาเวระมะโนยิสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิมุสาวาทาเวระมะโนยิสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิสุราเมระยะมัจฉะปมาทฐานาเวระมะโนยิสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิสุราเมระยะมัจฉะปมาทฐานาเวระมะโนยิสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิอิมานิปัญจสิกขาปทานิสีเรนะสิกขติยันติสีเลนะโภคสัมปทาส สีเลนิพุติยันติตัสมาสีรังวิโสทัยเย สัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะอากุศลธรรมะพยากตาธรรมะสุขายเวทนายสัมปยุตตาธรรมะทุกขายเวทนายสัมปยุตตาธรรมะทุกขมสุขะเวทนายสัมปยุตตาธรรมะวิปากธรรมะวิปากธรรมะธรรมะเนวะวิปากนาวิปากธรรมะธรรมะอุปาทินุปาดานิยธรรมะอนุปาทินุปาดาธรรมะอนุปาทินานุปาดานิยธรรมะสังกิเรตสังกิเรสิกาธรรมะสังกิเรตสังสิกาธรรมะสังกิเรทสังกิเรสิกาธรรมะสาวิตากสาวิจาราธรรมะวิตากวิจารามัตตธรรมะวิตากวิจาราธรรมะเอติสากตาธรรมะสุขสหกตาธรรมะอุเบกขาตาธรรมะดาสเนนะปะหะตปะธรรมะภาวะยปะหะตปะธรรมะเนวะเนนะนะภาวะยปะหะตปะธรรมะดาสเนนะปะหะตปะเหตุกะธรรมะภาวะยปะหะตปะเหตุธรรมะเนวะรัสเนนะนะภาวะยปะหะตปะเหตุกะธรรมะอาจายคามิโนธรรมะอัปปจายคามิโนธรรมะเนวะจายคามิโนนาปัจจามิโนธรรมะเสกาธรรมะเสกาธรรมะเนวะเสกานาเสกาธรรมะปาริตาธรรมะมะกตาธรรมะอัปปมานาธรรมะปาริตารมนาธรรมะมะกตารมนาธรรมะอัปปมานารมนาธรรมะเอนาธรรมะมัชฌิมาธรรมะปณิตาธรรมะเมธาตนิยตาธรรมะสัมมัตตนิยตาธรรมะอนิยตาธรรมะมาการมนาธรรมะมากาเหตุกาธรรมะมากาทิปติโนธรรมะอุปนาธรรมะอนุปนาธรรมะอุปาริโนธรรมะอาติตาธรรมะอนาคตาธรรมะปัจจุปนาธรรมะอาติตารมนาธรรมะอนาคตารมนาธรรมะปัจจุปนารมนาธรรมะอาชัตตาธรรมะปะหิทาธรรมะอาชัตตาปะหิทาธรรมะอาชัตตารมนาธรรมะปะหิทารมนาธรรมะอาชัตตาปะหิทารมนาธรรมะสานิดัสสนะสัพพติฆาธรรมะอนิดัสสนะสัพพธรรมะอนิดัสสนะปฏิฆาธรรมะอารมณปัจจโยอาทิปติปัจจโยอานันตรปัจจโยสามานันตรปัจจโยสังฆจตปัจจโยอาญะมัญญปัจจโยนิสยปัจจโยอุปนิสยปัจจโยอุริจตปัจจโยปัจจจตปัจจโยอาเสวนาปัจจโยกรรมปัจจโยวิปากปัจจโยอาหารปัจจโยอินทรียปัจจโยฌานปัจจโยมาคปัจจโยสัมปยุตตปัจจโยวิปยุตตปัจจโยอาทิปัจจโยนาทิปัจจโยวิคตปัจจโยอวิคตปัจจโย
ในขั้นต่อไปนี้เนาะอยากจะรายชื่อคนมาถวายผ้าไก่แล้วก็จะรายชื่ออยู่ในนี้โดยเฉพาะแล้วก็เป็นครอบครัวของเพิ่นก่อน Next I would call the name for the family first to lay out the yellow robe, and then after that we'll following the donations envelope as to the monk and give it to the monk. And at first I would like to call the family. Rennie McLeod, please pick up the yellow robe. I don't come, sorry, man. So, yeah. Yes, please lay down on the table. Okay, thank you. Next, Lisa Noon, these are from Portugal. Renee was from Seattle, Washington State. Next, Jan Mess from Linwood, Washington. And brother-in-law, William Metz. Seal. ขอนิมนต์พระอาจารย์ Next would be the children. There's his daughter and son. Laura Moloch, that's from Minneapolis. Mark Chookiatsirichai, the son. Chris Chookiatsirichai, Christine. Valerie Young from Hawaii. Matthew from Colorado.ขอนิมนต์พระอาจารย์สิเหรอเอาหมดเลยโอเค Amy Chookiatsirichai from Washington. Jimmy Moloch from Minneapolis. Trina Moloch from Minneapolis. And then Udom Sompatai, Ulai Tong, Rasmi Suliyatai, สมนิมิตวงศ์สุวรรณ I think that's all the list of the name that people that will lay the rope. I think that's the final. นิมนต์พระอาจารย์ครับ From now on, I would like to ask everybody pick up the dry flower, the scene stick to lay on that one. ของวางอยู่ที่ไหนตอนนี้ออกมาวางดอกไม้จันทร์นะขอวางดอกไม้จันทร์นิมนต์พระอาจารย์ก่อนวางดอกไม้จันทร์ Yeah. Christy, do you have the empty basket so that when people put the dry flowers, so they can put all, they can lay on the table? Yeah, right here. Yes, I think this is the wood basket. Yeah. Yeah, that would be. Family first, yes. บอกผ่าคนบอกแล้วเข้าใจก่อน Yeah, the family first, yes. Go ahead. And follow all the guests, yes. Yep. Put on the, yes. Put on the guests. Yes, thank you. Okay, next I would like to ask Mr. Udom to pick up the reed, money reed as donations for the month. Would you please come up and pick it up? Please go to the man. Kopko Wong Suwan. The name right there. This is Wong Suwan. Samnimit. And I didn't have the name on that one, so Christine, I didn't have these name with these two read for donations. So, yeah, would you please? Laura, this should be you. Laura, yes. Không phải tên này đúng. Okay. Should be Rennie. Yeah. Rennie, please. Yes. Lisa. Jean Metz. William. William Metz, yes. But I don't buy it. Okay, yes. You go ahead. This is your sons. Yep. Now the monk will be blessing to all of us right here, and would be the final after that. Then, okay, go ahead. Thanks.
นะมานุกัสสังลาพันตุมามังการังรักขันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพพุทธานุภาเวนะสดาโสติภวันตุเตภาวะตุสัพพมังการังรักขันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพธัมมานุภาเวนะสดาโสติภวันตุเตภาวะตุสัพพมังการังรักขันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพสังฆานุภาเวนะสดาโสติภวันตุเต
Christine, would you please come up to the podium and read the eulogy for your dad, Laura, and please come up here.
This is where I stop, right? Stop here. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming together today to pay tribute to, and say goodbye to Sunthi Chookiatsirichai, Phu Her Ping, Pastor Paul, Ajahn, Papa, our dad. We wanted to share with you a window into what we remember of him and his life. Hopefully it won't be too long. Born in Bangkok, Thailand, to Chinese parents, Tzi Yok Eng and Phu Folk Chung, he was named Phu Her Ping, meaning peace. Did you know he was a faraway descendant of the Chinese emperor's scribe? Search for the photo out there when he found the Phu family burial plot in China and put his arms around the stone. He was very proud of his Chinese Phu lineage and always wanted us to embrace our heritage and never forget where and who we came from. When he was 3, he moved back to the family village of Teom Ta on Hainan Island after his father died of complications from surgery. Eventually, he was sent to live with his uncle in Bangkok. As he was the only son, they thought he'd have better opportunities. His 3 sisters as a mom stayed behind in China. He went to St. Dominic's, an all-boys Catholic school, where he studied more English and met the 2 lifelong friends, Peter and Vibun. Peter said, "Your dad was always a leader. He strived to help poor people, teach the younger children, and organize them, even in school." His uncle stopped paying for high school when he had his own son, but the thirst for knowledge, which burned in him his whole life, prompted our dad to work diligently at a bookstore, where he pursued his love of knowledge and books and attended night classes until he earned his diploma. While in Bangkok, I remember him saying that he met Ruth Miller, an American white elderly missionary woman at the bookstore. He had been observing her, as he was wont to do of Americans or anyone he noticed speaking English, so he could practice. He said he also learned English by going to the movies. He approached her and started chatting. He finally asked the question he really wanted to, not what you might be imagining. I did say she was elderly, right? He asked, "Are you a Christian?" And she smiled gently and said, "Yes, I am. Do you want to talk about that?" And the rest is history. She helped sponsor him to come to America, where he connected with the McLeod family in Seattle. Eunice, Malcolm, Duncan, Renee, Jennifer, and Lisa, who are here. The McLeods gave him a stability of family and affection he had not truly known. This love and generosity really influenced how he lived his life. Grandma Eunice, or Mom, was an extraordinary cook and inspired his love of large family gatherings around home-cooked meals. And Dad also still had dreams about being a lawyer and loved observing or hearing about Grandpa McLeod's work as a lawyer, especially fighting for Native American fishing rights in the Pacific Northwest. Ask the McLeods for more Seattle stories. He worked at Arts Food Center, a grocery job that he was very fond and proud of. He always looked after others, and when he embarked on his dream of doing ministry work, by later moving to Minnesota to attend Luther Theological Seminary over here, he helped his boyhood friend Peter come to America by securing him a position at Arts Food Center and having a place to live, which enabled Peter to attain his dream of a new life here. Not realizing, though, that you need a BA degree first, he had to pivot when he arrived in Minnesota. And so he attended Bethel College, where he met his Thai class, where one of his Thai classmates had a roommate, our mom, Beverly. They met, fell in love, made plans like every couple does. They decided they wanted to be missionaries in Southeast Asia. I came along, though, to change their plans. They stayed in the US and had 2 more children, Mark, the long-awaited son, and then Chrissy. Plans changed again, and Mom and Dad divorced. The bi-weekly cultural arts and parks evenings began with Dad. He took us to countless museums, concerts, pool outings, park walks, Chinese and Thai celebrations, and restaurant visits. In his work, Dad finished seminary, was ordained, and got called to Bethlehem Lutheran Church in Northeast Minneapolis as a youth pastor. He led many summer sun-filled Sun Fun programs for youth, such as horseback riding and tubing down the Apple River Valley. Dad didn't even know how to swim, yet he took his 3 young kids with, and we all had a blast and survived. He really involved us in the social justice aspect of life and brought us to marches, took us to see Gorbachev when he visited Minnesota, served food at Loaves and Fishes, played basketball games in the church gym with the neighborhood kids, and loved praising the quilting ladies at church, as their handiwork went to so many families that he worked with, ours included. When Dad went into hospice care at the hospital, the chaplain, Steve, who serves at the same church building that our dad had in the 1980s, brought Dad a gift from the same quilting group that he had worked with all those years ago, a pale cream quilt with green leaves and vines all over it, keeping him warm at the end. My favorite story about Dad is when he'd stay up late on Saturday nights, typing up his sermons, a record echoing in the background. He'd feel lonely or need a break, so he'd call to us kids upstairs, "Want to have a tea party?" And of course, we'd come running down in our PJs. He'd get crackers and jam, buttered toast, and tea with milk and sugar. And once we finished having this treat, we'd fall asleep, sated and full of sugar, listening to Beethoven. Not such a happy transition, though, in the morning when we had to wake up and help out with church preparations. His work changed to focus on Southeast Asian ministries where he was a jack of all trades. He created a church service, sermon, and bulletin on his own, and then translated it into Lao. As kids, we had to help Dad print the bulletins off at Kinko's every Sunday, fold them, then help set up for treats after the service. So preparing for this celebration of life for Dad today was a trip down memory lane, though today we were not alone.
There were so many committees that Dad helped found and served on, people he networked with and connected, and countless awards that we cannot list them all. Here are some highlights. A Governor Rudy Perpich Certificate of Commendation for serving on, the Council on Asian Pacific Minnesotans, and a 1994 Outstanding Leadership Award. A Governor Arne Carlson Certificate of Commendation for leadership with the Thai community in Minnesota. He served as a member on the Hennepin County Board of Aging in 1986, Thai Association of Minnesota as secretary, Chinese Senior Citizen Society as secretary, Minnesota Department Health, Alcohol, and Drug Cultural Diversity Committee member. He also served on the Minneapolis City Council Police Misconduct Board in 1989. He presented on Southeast Asians Fight Racism, the Changing Mood in the Twin Cities for the Militant publication, and served on many more organizations promoting diversity, inclusions in the conversations, and dignity as human beings. He started as a Lutheran Brotherhood life insurance agent and also did court interpreting, immigration law, marriage licensure, or even loans to those in need. While working in the Hennepin court system for translations, he met his second wife, Helen. He quickly embraced her daughter Val as his own and had 2 more children, Matthew and Amy.
During these years, eventually Dad transitioned to being an at-home dad, utilizing his many enthusiasms for art and classical music. He was known for his harmonica playing and infectious whistling of his favorite tunes. He was very passionate about food, and his unique character shined most brightly through his delicious cooking. He was a talented chef in his own right. He'd never use a recipe, but could throw whatever he had together into the most delectable dishes you'd taste. He loved sharing his favorite movies with us: Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Indiana Jones, The Sound of Music, Babette's Feast, etc.
Eventually, life shifted again, and divorce prompted him to move back to North Minneapolis, where he continued working with life insurance, pastoral care, immigration advocacy, and focused on studying the things he was fascinated by, such as investments, constitutional law, black holes and quantum physics, world politics and foreign policy, all the light stuff. As it is with our bodies, a life of stressful and hard work began to catch up with him. But in true Sunthi fashion, he faced these challenges with a stout and stubborn determination. It was the love of his good friends and community and family that kept him going. He survived and recovered from double bypass surgery in February of 2022. Later that year, facing a new diagnosis of myasthenia gravis, or MG, a rare autoimmune neurological disorder that affects muscle groups and function. It caused constant double vision, which is why he began wearing an eye patch. In 2023, he again faced another diagnosis of liver cancer, which he valiantly fought and recovered from. Our dad had a very strong will, but his MG eventually began to worsen, affecting his breathing muscles. And this year, after multiple extended hospital stays, his body decided it was too much. He left us peacefully on July 10th at 7:10 p.m. on a summer evening of dramatic weather, surrounded by family and music. What he loved most besides his family was helping people. His passion and heart for taking care of his community showed how he saw the best in everyone around him. He leaves behind a legacy of love that will be hard to replicate, a breadth of knowledge into individual lives that would be hard for anyone to remember, a bastion of religious, philosophical, political, and scholarly thought that could astound. He was an avid documentary watcher, a voracious reader, and would devour books and articles with a never-ending appetite, continuing to keep active in these interests until the end. He will be deeply missed, not only by his family, but by many communities that he was integral to. Our sincere thanks to everyone who helped us prepare for today, traveled many miles to be here, and donated the delicious treats for the receptions. Please join us in the fellowship hall, share stories. Later on, we will have an open mic and can record video, peruse the many faces of Sunthi outside on the panels, and celebrate in the light he shared with everyone. Thank you.
The eulogies from the families are already finished. And then Mr. Dom, would you like to come up to the podium and say something? I will help you translate. So if you read it in Laos, please.
Yeah. พระเทระทุกเทระ ท่านที่เคารพได้นับถือ ได้หักแพง
Ladies and gentlemen,
ข้าพเจ้าอุดมสมบูรณ์ไทย
my name is Udom Sompathai.
ได้รู้จักกับอาจารย์สันติพอนับตั้งแต่ข้าพเจ้าได้ถูกอนุมัติได้มาตั้งถิ่นฐานอยู่สหรัฐอเมริกา
I become to know Pastor Sunthi Paul since I've been came in the United States of America.
เป็นต้นเป็นรัฐมินนิโซตา
At first, I settled on my resident in the state of Minnesota.
อาจารย์สันติพอได้ไปหับข้าพเจ้าพร้อมครอบครัวและครอบครัวท้องใสท้องรัศมีด้วยกัน
Mr. Sunthi Paul picked me up at the Minneapolis airport, and my family, Sompathai's family, and Thong Lasmi's family, that's for us for new arrival.
ในปี1984
In 1984,
และก็เคยได้สร้างตั้งโบสถ์คริสเตียนอยู่ North East Minneapolis นำกัน
and also I help him volunteer by the time that we have the church in Northeast Minneapolis.
ในปี1990
That was in 1990.
ท่านผู้มีเกียรติที่เคารพยามสุขยามโศกมีปัญหาต่างๆทั้งด้านอื่นๆในครอบครัวของข้าพเจ้า
Ladies and gentlemen, by the time I have the difficult time in my family,
อาจารย์สันติพรได้ยื่นมือเข้ามาให้ความแนะนำและช่วยเหลือตลอดมา
and also that he's helping me to resolve all the problem in the family. He's just like one of my family.
อาจารย์สันติพรเปรียบเสมือนกับอ้ายของข้าพเจ้า
Pastor Sunthi Paul, he's just like my big brother.
อาจารย์สันติพรในการจากไปของเจ้าในครั้งนี้
Pastor Sunthi Paul, you are leaving us,
เจ้าบ่มีเวลากลับคืนมาอีกแล้ว
and also there's no time for you to return to us.
มีแต่ความดีความงามที่เจ้าได้สร้าง
Only the good things that you left behind.
ในความทรงจำให้แก่พวกข้าพเจ้าตลอดไป
And also that the memories, we will remember you.
ในวันนี้เองพวกข้าพเจ้าตลอดกับลูกๆของอาจารย์สันติพรเอง คือได้ทำพิธีทั้งพุทธศาสนาและคริสเตียน
And also that today and we get gather that we have the Buddhist ceremony and the Christian.
ตามที่อาจารย์สันติพรได้สั่งไว้นำข้าพเจ้า
And also that's what before you leaving us, you already left the word, the message for us to do these 2 sessions for you
ในเดือนก่อนเพิ่นสิจากไป
before you leaving us.
สันติพรเอ่ยขอให้ดวงวิญญาณของเจ้าไปสู่สุคติเถิด
Pastor Sunthi Paul, may your soul rest in peace in the heaven.
ขอขอบใจ
Thank you so much. Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. Dear friends and family, as we gather here to remember the beautiful soul that was Pastor Sunthi Chookiatsirichai, I am filled with sense of gratitude and transcends the gift that envelop us today. I stand here to express our deepest thanks to each and every one of you who have joined us in paying tribute to a life was a living epitome of love, kindness, and generosity. In moments like this, words often fall short, express the whirlpool of emotions that we find ourselves in. However, it is through words that we find solace. It is through words that we find connection, and it is through words that we find comfort. And so, I find it fitting to take this moment to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all who have been a source of support and comfort during this time. Firstly, I would like to acknowledge the immense support we have received from our community. Your solidarity, your gestures of kindness, and your words of comfort have been a pillar of strength for us. We are truly grateful for your presence and your support. We are also incredibly thankful to the healthcare professionals who tended to Pastor Sunthi Chookiatsirichai during his time of illness. Your dedication, compassion, and unwavering commitments to providing care and comfort are nothing short of heroic. We extended our deepest gratitude to you for being there in our time of needs, to Pastor Sunthi Chookiatsirichai's friend, who have been constant source of love and support. We thank you. Your friendship was a source of joy and happiness for him, and we are comforted by beautiful memories and moments that we share together. Your friendship enriched his life countless ways, and for that, we are eternally grateful. As we navigate through this period of mourning, we find comfort in the collective memories and stories that each one of you have shared with us. Each story, each memory is a testament to the wonderful person Pastor Sunthi Chookiatsirichai was. He lived his life with an open heart, embracing everyone with warmth and love. Today, as we reminisce about Pastor Sunthi Chookiatsirichai, we are reminded of our countless life he touched with his grace and kindness, his spirit of generosity, his infectious laughter, and his unwavering optimism have left an indelible mark on all of us. As we bid adieu or say goodbye to Pastor Sunthi for Chookiatsirichai, we do so with heart filled with gratitude for the time we were blessed to have with him. His memory will continue to live on in this many life he touched. In many hearts he warmed, and in the many souls he inspired. Before we part, I would like to take a moment to thank all those who have worked tirelessly behind the scene to make today's ceremony a beautiful and fitting tribute to Pastor Sunthi for Chookiatsirichai's life. Your effort have helped us create a space where we can come together to mourn, to remember, and to celebrate a life well lived. In closing, I would like to thank each one of you for being here today. Your presence, your support, and your love have been a beacon of light in these dark times. As we move forward, let us carry Pastor Sunthi for Chookiatsirichai's legacies of love and kindness in our heart, inspiring us to live our life with compassion, grace, and empathy. Thank you very much. Mrs. Supens, Harrison, would you please come up here? Would you say something, please? Ms. Supens? Yeah, okay. Wait. Okay. Mr. Penn, would you please come up to the podium?
Good morning. It's such a pleasure to be here and honor Ajahn Sunthi. He is our best friend, and he's a great man. He do a lot of things for many people. When the Lao, the Thai, or the friends had problem, we'll go to him and he help them with all his full-hearted, with all his might, with all his energy, and he loved to help people. So he had a heart as a gold solid 22K gold, just like the Thai people said. And he helped many people, and most of the time he had he had such satisfaction out of what helping other people. But sometimes those people that give him, that want him to help, give him some suffering, because with all the stress and all the energy and all the going to the court as often as he going to the grocery store. So sometimes the result not as great. But anyhow, with his love of the people and all his good heart that have shown that all the families that he loved, and he loved them and they loved them back, and all the friends that he had helped so many friends. That's all his good heart. As for me, he's not just a dear friend, he is also my banker, because he helped me with all my financial. He gave me the loan and I pay him back, and he helped me with all his full heart, and I'll be grateful for that, and I'm thank you for that. And of course, I pay him back, with all the people. Buddhism had believed that if you owe somebody money and you don't pay them your debt in this life, okay? If you owe them $100 and you intend not to pay them, in the next life, then when we were born again, incarnation and all that, it will be not just tenfold, it's 1,000 folds. So believe it, don't owe anybody any money, okay? And the last loan that I had, it was 3 years ago. So last year, I wrote a check and give it to him, monthly payment. So then he looked at me in my eye and he said, "Oh, you think I'm gonna die?" And he said, No, I just don't want to owe you money. So it doesn't matter if he die or still alive, I still pay him money. Because I do not want to, my next life and pay him 1,000-folds. And he's such a dear friends, and we go eat out, we go with Yawaman and his friends and all that, and we go places, and we noticed that he was walking not steady, he was walking not steady. So then I said, let's go see doctor. He said, no, he used the herbal pill and all this and that. And so one day we have a trick, so then we said, I go pick him up, we go, outing, go places, go, So then I drove him to the clinic, to the doctor clinic, to the knee clinic. And then we go and spend 2 hours with the doctor, and finally he agreed to have cortisone in his knee, shot in his knee. So he was happy that he did that because he's such a stubborn guy. And then he's happy, and then later on, this is what then he tell his daughter that he was kidnapping by Supen and Yawaman to make him feel better and to make him the knee better. And it did get better, so, and that was like 7 years ago. So we've been good friends, and I will miss him dearly, and I will thinking of him with all his good deed and his good heart and his good denominator and his pure heart, and I will miss him a lot, and he will be in heaven, and thank you. Thank you.
Let's give him another 5 minutes, so I have he will represent, okay. You will represent our community. Would you please, Mr. Paitun, come up to the floor and say something? Okay. And after that, we will invite monks to have the luncheons and everybody. Please come up. Come. Oh, thank you. Pastor Pen, thank you. Auntie Stupen, you are doing awesome job. This is pretty entertaining. That would be relieve our stress.
Close to afternoon, good afternoon, everybody. ขอน้อมนมัสการพระเทระนุเทระและนับถือสามเณรบวชใหม่นับถือแม่ขาวและก็ฮักแพงญาติพี่น้องทุกคนเรียนทานผู้ทรงคุณวุฒิและทานหญิงทานทรายองค์การจัดตั้งและสมาคมต่างๆเพื่อนมิตรพร้อมด้วยญาติพี่น้องทุกคนพร้อมด้วยแขกที่มีเกียรติจากต่างรัฐต่างเมืองที่มีโอกาสได้มาร่วมในงานชาปนกิจศพเมื่อนี้ข้าพเจ้าไพฑูรย์โพธิสารขอตั้งหน้าครอบครัวของของสุเกียรติสิริใจขอแสดงความขอบใจขอบอกขอบใจอย่างล้นเหลือมายังบรรดาทานที่หักแพงและนำใจบุญทั้งหลายที่ได้เสียสละเวลาโอกาสอันมีค่ามาร่วมในงานพิธีชาปนกิจศพและห่วมใบอะไรแด่ดวงวิญญาณของทานอาจารย์สันติพอสุเกียรติสิริใจในครั้งนี้เพื่อแบ่งเบาความทุกข์โศกเสียใจและในการสูญเสียผู้เป็นบิดาที่แสนหักที่ผู้มีพระคุณของพวกข้าพเจ้าขอจารึกและขอจดจำบุญคุณในคุณงามความดีที่ได้สมทบปัจจัยเงินคำโมทนากินทานสวยห่วมแบ่งเบาจากพวกข้าพเจ้าขอจดจำไว้ในส่วนลึกของหัวใจของพวกข้าพเจ้าตลอดไปขออวยพรใส่ให้พวกทานทุกทานทุกคนจงประสบแต่ความสุขกายสบายใจปราศจากโรคภัยไข้เจ็บนานาประการให้อยู่ดีมีแห่งก้าวหน้าเจริญด้วยพระพร4ประการอายุวันนะสุขภาละตลอดไปด้วยเถิดขอบใจ
Thank you, Mr. President, for come up to the podium and represent our Lao community for that Mr. Santipur that has been helping us before. Yep, thank you. Appreciate it. Now, Buddhist ceremony is already done, and I would like to invite all of you have luncheons, and then monks will have the luncheons, and the next session would be with Christian. Okay, and thank you. We adjourn. Thanks.
ขอกล่าวเป็นภาษาลาวเนาะลำดับต่อไปเป็นการจบพิธีแล้วก็มีมนต์พระสันเพลนะเนาะและก็ขอเชิญญาติพี่น้องและแขกทั้งหลายร่วมรับประทานอาหารกับเจ้าภาพจนอยู่ทางข้างเนาะคนจัดไว้มีไว้แล้วหลังจากเสร็จพิธีแล้วรับประทานอาหารแล้วของเรามีอยู่รายการที่2เป็นรายการของคริสเตียนหากพี่น้องมีเวลาแล้วก็ขอให้ได้อยู่ร่วมในรายการที่2หลังจากรับประทานอาหารแล้วขอขอบใจเลย